Okay, ladies and gents, Gnosticism, a useful overview by Carl Sparticus. Let's do the review. Let's get into it. So the book is very good, which is why I'm reviewing it, of course. The author tries to explain Gnosticism as best as possible. First starting off with the definition of what Gnosticism is and kind of setting up the stage. So talking about places and environments that are important within the Gnostic pantheon. The author continues to kind of create a canon by taking what is used regularly, ideas that are used regularly within the various forms of Gnosticism, and put them together to have a story, something that is more linear. However, with Gnosticism, it is kind of hard to do that because it's a very personal, spiritual practice, and everybody is going to have different ideas of what their truth through Gnosticism is. But the author does their research on the various groups that were considered Gnostic, and also explains a lot of those and goes into as much detail. I wouldn't say as much detail as possible, but a lot of detail in order to explain what was different about each group. The author talks about the pantheon of Gnosticism, starting with the creation of the world through the aeons. They also mention Adam Kadmon as well as Sophia. And they go through a detailed explanation of all of these beings, including Barbella, and the role that they play within the cosmos. Now, the good thing about that is, for anybody who is looking to connect with these specific beings, the more knowledge that you have, the more detail that you have, the easier it is to actually connect with them. And at the back of the book, it gives you a kind of template on how to go about with evocation rituals. Another good thing about this book is that it talks about the Gnostic works so that you can actually look these up. It talks about the Nag Hammadi library and mentions what is involved, what books are involved in the Nag Hammadi library. It also mentions the Book of Jude, which is very interesting because there are very little sources that talk about the Book of Jude. So I was actually glad to see that. It was maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4-page chapter. It wasn't very long, but at least, if somebody is really interested in Gnosticism, it can spark their interest. I personally have a copy of the Book of Jude that I printed up, and it's very interesting, very complex though. Along with the pantheon of aeons, the hierarchy of angels from a Gnostic perspective is also discussed. And not finally in the book, but the difference between Jesus in Gnosticism and Jesus in mainstream Christianity is also discussed. I like this book because it takes the time to look at things from a perspective of Gnosticism, and also covers the different groups of Gnostic ideology and their differences. It is interesting because within my path, I've seen elements of each Gnostic group that have been presented to me within my experience and my practice. I just think that this is a very good book that explains things very simply as possible. But it does cover it hits on a lot of good details. There isn't a lot of information out there that takes the time to kind of make sense of Gnosticism. There's more coming out, but I feel like before it wasn't a very big topic, and now it's starting to get more attention. And if you're interested in practice and the belief, this is a very good book to start with. So definitely recommend it. And I definitely, enjoyed reading it. So if you're looking for something that pertains to Gnosticism, pick the book up and check it out.